Hello, hello, hello. Is anybody out there? Oh, there I am, I think. Yes, it's me. Welcome, Samash. Welcome to the Sacred Sound Festival. Hey, Maria. Hey,
Hello, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Welcome all the
Oh,
way from the Brazilian jungles.
yay! Yeah, I'm here. Can you see my little jungle outside there?
I can, amazing. Give us a
Yeah,
can we see a little bit more? Let's see.
yeah,
Can you show us the jungle?
yes. Wait, wait.
Nature in all its splendor.
Wait, how can I? Just a second. I want to change the camera. I don't. Yeah, here.
Wow. Oh my
Is it
golly.
a century big tree? And it's like full of animals. And over there, I don't know if you can see there. It's a big lagoon and then the ocean. It's very beautiful. My little flowers here in Brazil.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, thanks for
Yeah.
showing us. Hopefully, I'll be with you in March.
Yay! I will be so happy to having you together, bro.
Yeah, you're going to tell everybody about the Yawanawa festival.
Yes, I'm going to speak with them about it.
Amazing. Amazing. So, what time is it there in
In
Brazil?
Brazil, well, not in Brazil, in Rio,
In Rio?
it's 1 o'clock.
In the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's
1 p.m.
not a massive amount of difference in time, really.
Yeah, it's 3 hours, but from Acre it's 5 hours. In Acre now it's 11. And the Honey Queen women, they are so happy. They never make a live in their lives, so they're like, and they are super happy. They're like, can he record this to us? And we want to have to show our families. They are super happy. They are super grateful to do this. Super, super.
Wonderful. Well, we're very honored and blessed to have you and have the Hunikun with us as well. It's going to be
Cool.
amazing. Can't wait to see some of that spirit from the jungle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. So they are super cool and super humble, super beautiful voice. And they will put their original dresses that is like this. You see what I have here in my arm?
Yeah.
This is
Beautiful.
natural cotton. And they grow this natural organic cotton in their villages. And this is
Wow.
the kene. The kene is the sacred geometry that they put on. Yeah, like
Wow.
the bracelets. I'm going to show you. I think you know this kind of things. Yeah, they have this kind of things. This is the kenes. Yeah, this is the sacred geometry to them, and
Mm.
all of them they have a different meaning. And they make like this. They make earrings. They make necklace. They make everything, and they make these kind of things like I have in my arm. And this with their natural handcraft of the women there, and they will be dressed like this today and singing, dancing, speaking. So I think it will be very beautiful as well.
Wow. Wow. I love that particular color. I love that green. The green with
Great.
the is that the boa? Is that the aconda that they you know use the inspiration from the animals? Some of them, I guess.
They use, but they don't use condor. They use like from different animals. They are not so like Native American shamanism from the north.
Mm.
They have a different kind of. They have the guardians of the medicine. The main animal to them is the yushibu, that is the anaconda.
Mm-hmm.
That's their main animal. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
they have other animals that they bring protection. For example, that one. This is the step of the onça is like the black jaguar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the step of the black jaguar. This is a protection symbol,
Mm.
and they have like different ones. This one is like the back of the spine of the anaconda, that is also spiritual knowledge. So they have different meanings and different animals. different
Mm.
plants. They don't use too much like the eagle and the condor or the wolf. They don't use these animals. They use another ones that they have in their forests.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, the gavião real, that is like kind of a condor more or less. They use, but they don't use on the handicraft. They don't use on the handicrafts on the sacred geometry, but they use the feathers and they work with their feathers.
Mm.
So they have different animals. They use different parts of the animal to do this.
Amazing, amazing. So, thank you so much for joining us. This is
Thank
the
you.
third day in our festival, which goes over 12 days, and we have a massive lineup of incredible people, starting with you, Maria, and
Mm,
then we go. I'm just going to run. Let me just see if I can show people what the lineup is today. That would be really
yeah.
cool, and then we sort of have an idea. Let's see if I can find that. Marketing and it's a 26th today, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I've lost time. We're in the time warp of the Sacred Sound Festival.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost all sense of timing. Okay, here we go. So today, Maria Terra, all the way from Brazil. Did you hear that song I was playing when you came in
Yes.
about Terra? I
Yeah.
thought that was quite
Sweet.
appropriate.
Sweet. Yeah.
and,
Thank you.
and then Samia Biryani and Mawa Kenya. I don't know if I'm saying that.
Mauá e Sankneya.
Mawa Isa Kenya from the
Kneya. Yeah.
Queen tribe. And 6 o'clock is Abby Poem. And then 7 o'clock, Moshe Halperin. 8 o'clock, Pakande. 9 o'clock, Antar Karan, all the way from Colombia. And 10 o'clock, Adrian Atma, Mystic Loop, all the way from France. Wow. So a massive, amazing lineup. We're going to have so much fun. It's going to be so powerful. And it's just going to be super, super cool. What would be great though, if everybody here on this call, if you wanted to share the festival with your friends and family and all that type of thing, and even whoever whoever's on your Facebook, what would be amazing is if you actually shared it. So I'm going to copy the link into the chat box, and I'm going to give people a few minutes just to take the link, click on it,
Okay.
it'll take you to the live video, and then you just press share and share it onto your personal page, and that'll hopefully make it available to many more people. So even the people that are not on the Zoom call today can actually benefit from the energies and the love that we're going to be sending out into the universe today.
Amazing.
And yeah, you get an even bigger transmission of love and connection by actually listening to it. But obviously, everybody in the planet is actually feeling the impact right now. They're feeling slightly more happy, slightly more loved up because of the work we're doing right now. So even the 20 or 30 people on the call right now, plus the however many people on the Facebook Live, will be experiencing this connection. And that connection creates a field of love and energy and positivity. And that has an impact on the planet. How's that, Maria? What do you reckon?
Yes. Uh, it's totally the moment to do this, no, brother, because we are in this end and collapsing, moment of the world and humanity. And
Mm,
my question always is, if not us, whom? If not now, when? Yeah.
mm,
And all this thing about activism for me is like this, is like before was like cool to do this, and the people more aware was doing the activism, but now I really feel that it's like an emergency. It's really like we just need to do it.
mm,
We don't have more time to just think about it and see, oh, that's very nice and whatever. I think the activism is something that is available to all of us, and
mm,
it's in different levels. You don't need to work with indigenous tribes in Brazil as I do to do this kind of things. Yeah, the activism is the way that you dress yourself, is the way that you eat, is the way how you live, is where you go to toilets, is what your connection with the earth. Yeah,
mm,
and Can I kind of start to speak about this, or?
Yes, you can. Carry on.
Yeah,
Carry on.
good. Because many people, they write me and they ask me, hey Terra, I really like your work and I would like to have access to all these people that you have to be able to be activism as well. And I try to deconstruct this, because what does it mean to be activist is to be connected with the earth, and this is like a right that all of us we have. We don't need to go to Amazonia, we don't need to know indigenous people, we don't need to live in nature, but we can do even from our apartments in the city, you know. I know that many people is in this transition, and many people is in this moment that they want, you know, to have a more sustainability life, and it's available, you know, it's totally available. We can grow our food in our apartment, even if it's just a little bit, or you have these communitarian veggie gardens in the cities. The way you eat, it's a way of activism as well. Yeah, the way you talk, what do you do, you know. For example, many times because I work a lot with this, you know, activism and indigenous people, but I also work with yoga retreats and women's retreats, all these kind of things. And what I try to do always is like to bring this awareness of the people, that if you are receiving this, is moments to bring this with you to your lives, to your friends, to your contacts, you know. I work a lot with water and water prayers, for example, and water ceremonies, and people stay very touched and they cry and they really connect with the spirit of water. And I was like, don't leave this being just an experience for you, but just bring this to your communities. You also can make a water prayer, you also can make a water ceremony. But I don't know how to do this. It's like, just allow the voice of the water speak through you. Just pray to the water and ask water, how is it? How can I pray to you? How can I help you? Yeah. It's something that I also don't know the formula, you know, even if I study, I have this blessing of studying with these amazing people, all the elders from different tribes, and my life, my project is about this. But yeah, they don't teach me, they just do this, and I connect with that source, and with that source I bring in my own way. Yeah, and this is the time that is okay. If you have a source of water close to your house, or if you go to the ocean to sing in the to swim, or if you go a waterfall, or if you have your water bottle at house, you can make an altar, you can pray for it, you can increase this capacity of talking with elements. And for me, activism is like this. It's very simple, you know, and this I think is very accessible to everyone. Yeah. And of course, you can have habits that help us. Yeah. For example, where I'm living, this is my house here in Brazil. I'm living in this house at the tree. This is a tree house. That size very high, and it's all made by wood, and all this wood was recycling. Yeah, this wood was not buying at shop, it's recycling. It was like in the garbage, people remove from their house, they offer, and it's a very beautiful tree house made with all natural materials, and everything was recycling. This is a way of activism as well. Outside there you cannot see, but I have my dry toilet, and everything that every day that I go to toilets, I go to the dry toilets, because for me personally it doesn't make any sense to go to the toilets in the water and flash the water. And you know, even in these days that we are living, that now the water, I don't know if you know a very sad news, but the water now enter to, you can buy the water now. Water is not more a free resource anymore. Since the beginning of this month, it enters as a thing that you can buy. So, for example, Nestle or any other person can go there and can buy sources of water. This is officially now. Until now, it was not, but now it is. So we are living in this moment that until the water that is a right from humanity, it's available for sailing. So, you know, we are living in this moment that if you don't do, who will do it? Because everything is going in the different direction of activism and connecting with nature. You know, I'm from Brazil and I'm here, and I know how much do you know, all of you, about politics, but now the Brazilian government is like selling everything. Amazonia is burning out, Pantanal is burning out, sources of water are being sold. They are removing all the minerals of the earth. They are removing the indigenous people from their lands. I mean, the minister of the ecological minister that we have right now, he's the first one to say, let's use this COVID moment to allow the cows to come in Amazonia. So when we have a minister of environment that is supposedly to protect the environment telling, let's use this, and we have videos, he's like speaking like this, yeah, let's use this moment that everybody's paying so much attention with the COVID-19. Now is the moment to make all the deforestation that we want and sell all the Amazonia to the people that work with gado, no, like cows and all these kind of things. So from this, we have two options. One option, be very upset and fight against this. Another thing is just forget what's going on and make our own activism, our life as an act of political act, yeah? And that's what I try to do. Of course, I read news and I see what's going on, and I see that more than ever, I cannot just be silent. I cannot just don't do nothing about this, because now is the moment. And even the indigenous, I ask this, because of the COVID, they cannot go out of the forests, so they don't have access to the world. So now they're like, Terra, let's talk about this, because now is the moment that humanity needs to know everything about nature. Yeah, it's many things that are very, very sad that are happening in Amazonia and in Brazilian forest itself. Here, I'm not in the Amazonia, I'm in the Mata Atlântica. That is the biggest biodiversity place in Amazonia and Mata Atlântica in Brazil. And I have monkeys here every day. I have all kinds of animals here. And every day I'm destroying everything, you know. So now is the moment that you really need to activate for this. Yeah. And wow, so many sad things that I don't want to focus this on so much. But I feel that we know what's going on, even of this COVID-19 story, you know, that we cannot hug, that you cannot love, that you cannot see the people we love, that we cannot, you know, go to the streets. It's very the moment where we need to really, you know, have deep reflections about what's going on behind the scenes, yeah, and not being in the fear, paying lots of attention and being very careful with us and with others, of course, but also fighting for our own rights of being healthy and trusting our humanitarian system. I don't have a health care thing here in Brazil. So I always say that I am my own healthcare, you know, and I put all the self-care, all the medicines of nature, natural medicines every day to be all the time healthy, because I trust that if I'm very healthy, I cannot be affected with the world and with everything that is happening in the world right now. Yeah. And this is also the activism, this reconnection with the earth. What is the foods that we can eat? What is the natural medicines that we have available now? You know, even is propolis and pollen and honey and lemon and vitamin C and all these kind of very simple things that everybody has access, and they help us to be, you know, with our humanitarian system up. Many people is asking me about indigenous and COVID-19. Yeah, and this is very delicate because I cannot speak from all the indigenous. I will speak from the ones that I'm more connected. And what they say to me, I was speaking the other day with the cacique from the Yawanawa tribe, the Nishiwaka, and I asked him about this. And he told me, hey, Terra, in the beginning of the pandemics, all our people was infected with that virus, and it was a very strong, but we healed ourselves with our own medicines. We asked to the spirits of the forest to help us, and they told us the ingredients that you must put together to heal ourselves, and we healed everybody in the forest. So now we are not in fear anymore, because we understood that this is an entity that comes, and we understand how to heal ourselves. And again, this is activism. using the resources that they are available to everyone all the time. This is nature, and Mother Nature is so abundant. And just take, use it, not taking profit of it, but with respect, using it and giving it back. Yeah. On the other time you invite me to come to the Sacred Sound Festival, so I share with you something about the sustainability. That sustainability is a world that doesn't make sense anymore, because we are not in the sustainability world anymore. We cross that line. So now, even if you keep being sustainable people, it's not enough anymore. Now is the regeneration uh, culture that you are entering in. Yes, so it's not just about recycling the plastic. It's not, don't use plastic anymore. Yeah, even that I know that you are living in this culture of plastic. I'm sure that the people that is seeing this not so much, but still we have lots of plastic everywhere. And it's really, really trying to reduce, to avoid this. It's really trying to, hey people, let's meet our friends. What can do? Let's plant trees. Why not? If you have a person with a land, instead of going out and drinking beer, or going out and stay drinking tea seated on the living room, let's make a mutirão, people getting together and planting trees, people of getting together and cleaning the beaches, and people getting together and talking about how can we help our communities. Yeah. And that's the thing that I'm trying to do. Instead of just being with my friends, like, oh, hanging out, let's try to be something while we are together. We hang out, but we are doing something at the same time. Yeah. Because this is very needed right now. Yeah. And I think us, and I'm sure that everybody that is assisting this is in this line of thinking, that I've thought that we can change the world, even if it's very difficult every day. We can change the people around us. We can change ourselves. Yeah. So it's the micro revolutions. Yeah. The micro revolutions is what we must do right now, because in the macro it's very chaotic and is very strong right now. So let's start with the micro, with our neighbors, with our circle of friends, in our communities. How can you do better things? Even the people that live in the city. Okay, one of you for sure, you have like a garden. So like make a collective horta, collective vegetable garden. Let's grow medicines, let's grow herbs that you can take showers, shower baths, baths of herbs, and you can cleanse our bodies, and you can cleanse our minds, and you can have our own food, and all these kind of micro things that they have influence in the macro, as you are speaking so much. You being here, of course, we are affecting the world. But of course, that right now it's many more difficult and dense energies vibrating, sometimes even more than our light energy. But we do what you can do. We don't, at least it's what I'm doing. I'm not looking so much outside. I'm looking more inside. What I can do to create the reality I want. What is happening in government, with Bolsonaro, with all the, water being patent, and now you can buy the water. It affects me, of course. But one more reason to don't be, oh my God, and complaining about life. It's like no time to complain, just action. Yeah. That's the moment where I'm living and bringing this. Yeah, because I receive many questions and people write me like, yeah, I would like to be activism, but I don't have access to all the things you have. And it's like, no, we don't need to have access to anything to be activism. Activism is a way of being, is a way of how do you relate with life and with people. Yeah, does it make sense? And
Yeah, I love that. That's amazing messages. Oh, I love that. I love it. Thank you so much for
look, the bee
spreading that
appears here.
message.
This is a good sign. A bee just appear here, and the bee
Good.
they are.
The messenger, the messenger from the forest.
Yeah. And yeah, family. So this is it. It's very simple. It's just a way of living, the way we, because the world is so difficult right now. We just need to be in light and be actively in light. Yes, meditation. Yes, yoga. Yes, I do this every day. but also like, let's go to plants, to grow trees, to clean the waters, to remove plastic from the oceans, whatever, you know, whatever you feel. This is just example, but I'm sure there is other ways to act. Yeah. And good. So I would like to share a little bit about my work in the forest and with indigenous. Yeah, also because they call me Caputawan, and Caputawan is the crocodile. And there is in the history of the creation to them, the Caputawan was the crocodile that they were crossing people from one village to the other village, to the other side of the river. Yeah. So they were putting tribes, they were putting different people together. Yeah. So the Caputawan is that animal that to them is the bridger connector. Yeah. So they call me Caputawan because of this work I do. The first time I went to Amazonia was, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 maybe years ago. And I was in Brasilia, in Alto Paraíso de Goiás. That is a very beautiful place. It is a mountains full of crystals and sources of water and waterfalls of 3, 5, 10 meters. And I was there with a very good friend, and we decided going to Amazonia because it was going to happen in Brazil, a very big meeting with all the presidents of the world. They were coming to Brazil to talk about environment and sustainability. And they were in their, you know, private airplanes with AC and very toxic clothes. And they were like speaking about this. And I heard about this, and I was like speaking with my friend, come on, we need to bring indigenous people, how they can speak about environment and sustainability if they don't have anyone representing that lives like that. So like 12 years ago, I didn't have money and knowledge how to go to Amazonia. I just took a bus. Me and my friend, we took, it's like a vision quest inside the bus, 4 days and 4 nights inside of the bus. And we arrived to Amazonia. And we went to the indigenous tribes and we spoke about what's going on. And we're like, we wanted you to come there with us. We were making a documental. We didn't have any good camera. We didn't know how to edit. We didn't know how to film. We didn't know anything, but we just went with our faith and with this inner guidance of let's do it. And we never asked how we are going to do it if you don't know. We just didn't think about it. Yeah. And we went there and we spoke with them, and then we managed to find people to pay them. In the end, we were able to bring more than 10 indigenous to this event in Brazil, and we make this documentary about sustainability and with all the voice of the guardians of the forests, because the indigenous, they are the guardians of the forest. They are holding space and holding the forest alive. Yeah. And so this is how it starts my connection with them. So since the first time that I saw an indigenous, I was already making a project with them. And from them, we become like family. And with many of them, but especially Huniquin and Yawanawa, this is the 2 tribes that I have more connection with. And all the time I start to bring groups to the forest to know their way of living, making different projects, for example, projects to bring electricity to their lands, but not electricity from governments, but solar panels, because they need for many reasons. So just giving this example to you to understand one of the problematics of Amazonia. Yeah, the governments. Amazonia is the most rich place in the world because of biodiversity, because there is gold, there is very important precious stones, they have sources of water, they have very, very expensive woods, they have everything. It's a very rich territory. So the government really wants to take this from the indigenous people. So they want to give a salary to the indigenous people, because then they don't need to work anymore in their tradition, and they give them other lands and take their lands. And because of money, some indigenous, they don't know about this, you know, not sometimes because government has a very important and specific way to talk with them, to convince them that it is the progress, that it is the good thing to be done. Yeah. So the Yawanawa and the Honeyqueen, the one that I work more with, they are very roots, and they are very clear about that they want to keep doing their tradition, that they want to keep doing, taking their medicines and working the way they do. Yeah, during many years, the people, the Western people, were there trying to doctrine them, trying to put them as a Catholics, asking them to leave their religion, to leave their languages, their chants, everything. And in the beginning, they are a little bit confused, but then they were like with their bows and arrows, and they were like, bah, go out of our lands, you know? And they bring everything back. During some years, they are, oh my God, they are speaking that what we are doing and saying and speaking and chanting is things from the devil, and we don't want to be connected to the devil. We didn't know what was that, but they explained to them. So there was this moment where they were a little bit like, what should we do? But then they decide to keep their traditions. They have this spiritual guidance. And right now they have indigenous lands. So for example, the Yawanawa, the Cacique Birasini Shiwaka, he was the one with bow and arrow removing all the New Hope Catholic Church from their lands. And he was able to study and to understand how he could take indigenous lands. So it's like territorio indígena, indigenous territory. So they have 1,900 kilometers of lands, and 98% is like land that they never touched, that never cut a tree. It's like primary forests. Yeah, what is amazing. And 2% is where they make their village. They cut something, they construct their huts, their maloccas, their botanic garden. For example, they have a sacred village that is a village, the last one. After that village, they just have the isolated tribes, you know, that they are still naked and they never saw people. If they see some people, they just kill them. They are very wild and savage, and they just live like in the forest, you know. They don't have houses, they are nomads, they just eat what nature gives to them. And it is the isolated tribes. Yeah, so after the sacred village, they just have isolated tribes and primary forests. And they made a botanic garden where they have almost 3,000 different species of plants that they went to the forest very, very far away from the primary forest. They took from their village to make a botanic garden and to keep studying, you know, their plants, and don't lose the medicine that these plants have. Yeah. And they are super amazing healers, you know. In Brazil, you don't call shamans, you call pajés. And the pajés, they are amazing healers. They know everything about herbs and plants and teas and baths and all kind of things that they can heal almost everything, you know. And they are being attacked from the pharmaceutics, from the people that want the precious stones and gold, the people from the waters that want their sources of waters, the people from the madeireiros that want to destroy cut all the trees and have these, you know, to cut, and the people that want to have the gado, you know, the cows, and put it on soya and all these kind of things. So they are all the time, people is trying to attack them. And because they have this indigenous territory officially, they don't have this problem anymore. But then you have the others that they were not able to create this sign from the government. So they are more in danger. So there is different indigenous with different problems, yeah? But the deforestation, it affects everyone. Even the Yawanawa, that they have almost 200,000 kilometers of indigenous lands, they are affected with this. Why? Because the forest around, very far away from them, but the forest very far away is being cut. there is less rain. Because there is less rain, the river is more down. Because it's more down, there is less water. Because there is less water, there is less fishes. Because there is less fishes, there is not enough fish to everybody, because they fish and they hunt. Yeah, the same story for the hunting. Because there is less trees, there is less animals, so there is less animals to them to hunt. So sometimes they need to go to the village, and they need to the city that is like 10 hours distance where they live by boats, plus 4 or 5 hours by car, to buy sometimes some rice or things like that before they didn't need. So even if they are super roots into the forest and they have these indigenous lands, they are still affected from this. Yeah. One another, just the last thing about this is about Honey Queen. Government come to the one of the villages. Okay, we want to put electricity to you, and with electricity will be amazing, because you can have the thing where you take the water, the wheel, poço, I think is wheel, where you collect water and bring water from the earth. Yeah, so they needed electricity to make this pumping the water out. So the government said, yeah, we are going to put electricity at your place. So now you have electricity forever. You can take your water. It's all good. We do it for free. And the indigenous are like, yeah, this is great, actually, because we need. And then they spoke with me and my other friends, because I have a group of friends here in Brazil that we all work together. And we are like, no, Chai, this is not a good idea, because if they put electricity, they need to cut the trees to make a road to arrive to your village. If they make this, many other people will try to cross. So you lose your culture, because you will have a road crossing your village. So this is not a good idea. They say, yeah, I know, I understand this, but we still need water. We need to pump the water, so we need electricity. So what can we do? So a group of friends are like, okay, let's go to Europe. Let's traveling for 3 months. Let's share your chants, your medicines, your activism, everything you do with people, because people is asking, people like indigenous people in Europe. And with that money, we make a project called the Projeto Vagalume. That is, this yellow animal that is all the time it's like a small light that is, I don't know I don't know the English name, but it's an animal that it's a light flying.
Firefly, they call it.
Yeah, this is it, Firefly. And we call the Firefly project, where we went with them 3 months to Europe, and all that money went to install a solar panel in each village. So every house, they have a small electricity now, and they can pump the water, and children is not dying anymore, because children were dying. Why? Again, because of deforestation, the river is more low, it's more polluted, so there is more dirty things, because it's less amount of water. So they were keeping drinking the water from the river, but because of the big monoculture stories, there was agrotoxics on the water, all these kind of things. So they were dying, children were dying because of this. So we kind of found a solution from the needs, yes, because indigenous people in 2020, they do need money, they do need things right now, because they are not wild anymore, because of all these things that you have been talking. But trying to find something, okay, to cover their needs, but at the same time, keeping the connection with nature and their culture alive. Yeah. So this is it, why it's important to work with them, what is important to bring. For example, they were, when the church entered indigenous tribes, also the people from the latex, also the people from deforestation, trees, everything, they start to have contacts, contact with the white people. I don't know to say white people, because there's not just white people. I have black, yellow, all this kind, but they call white people because they just saw white people. They never saw yellow people or black people. Yeah, so they call us white people. But I prefer to call Western people. When they have this contact with Western people, they start to tell them, you don't know nothing, you need to have a church in our village, we need to pray for a different god, you cannot use this kind of clothes, you cannot talk this language, or drinking your own medicines, all this. And when they were very confused with that, it affects them so much. And because of us Western people, that we start to go there, we start, oh wow, we like your clothes, we like your feathers, we like your songs, we like the medicines you take, we help them as well to be proud again to see indigenous, because they were very shy of being indigenous, because people were saying this is a devil thing, this is wrong, you will be always poor, we need to go to the city to have a better quality of life. This is the speech that the people that were to conquer them was telling them. Yeah. So this connection, this bridge between Western people and them were very important, because I understood, wow, there is people that like what we do. So we can be proud of being indigenous again. This is not that devil thing. We are healing people. People is trusting in our work. People want to hear our songs. So this is for a reason, yeah? So this exchange in between them and us is really important, because we help each other. They heal ourselves. They bring their sacred medicines, their sacred songs. They heal humanity. They rise up the awareness of humanity. And we help them to keep trusting in their things and giving money to them, to don't need to be dependent of governments, because being dependent of Brazilian government right now is to giving your culture and just going back to the cities, because they will steal until the last tree. So that's why in this work that I'm doing, I'm not just the unique one. I have the Guardiões Runic Queen, that is a group of friends that we do all this work. They are just amazing people with a beautiful heart, trying to help. We have different projects that after, if someone is interested, you can contact me. I can share more. I can share my Instagram, and we can follow there, and we can talk more about all of this. And I bring them to Europe once a year. Normally in the European summer, I bring 3-4 indigenous, and I travel with them around Europe. We go to UK every year. We go to Portugal. We go to different places, and we make spiritual retreats with them. People is asking me, what is my social media? I need to write here, I guess. I don't use Zoom too much. Wait, I'm going to write this. Okay.
I'll write it for you, Terra. Don't worry. I'll add it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
worry.
So, and I bring people to the forest, to their villages, to show their culture, to drink their medicines, to learn their songs, to hear their stories of creation. All this that is happening now, all this junction, this encounter between us and them, it was writing in the astral, because they did not know how to write, thousands and thousands and centuries years ago. They always knew. There is stories that said there was one day that the people with very white collar, they will arrive in a boat, in a thing that goes through, because they have canoes. Like instead of canoes, they're very big boats. And they are very powerful people, so we cannot fight with them. We need to be friends with them, because they are stronger than us. So we need to make alliances. Yeah. So everything about this indigenous people that I work is about alliances. They love us and we love them, and we are friends. And for example, we hear the Nishiwaka, the chief of the Awanawa people, they went to Portugal. Every time I bring him to Portugal. First time he came to Portugal, it was, I think, 3 years ago. We make a spiritual work there with 150 people outside in the middle of the shooting stars, and with a big fire. And he was speaking. He was like, this is the most important ceremony that I'm doing in my life. I just saw all my ancestrals with me this 2 nights, and they asked me to share a message with you. And the message is that 500 years ago, because they were in Portugal, your ancestrals, they went to to Amazonia, and they tried to kill ourselves, killed our culture, killed our traditional everything. And now 500 years before, after, we are here with the most sacred things we have, our medicines, our songs, everything we have. And I say the name of all their medicines. Why we are here? Because you trust in the forgiveness, and what we did and our ancestors did before, it doesn't matter anymore. This is the past. Now we need to make alliances. Now we need to be together, because together we are strong. I was translating their speech and I started to full on cry, and I passed to someone else and to someone else. In the end, we were 9 people trying to translate, and all the 9 people crying, passing to the other and passing to the other. Because it was so deep, 150 people like Portuguese hearing this forgiveness lesson. And after this, life changed, because it's why we don't forgive people, why you don't forgive government, why don't you forgive Bolsonaro, whatever what Bolsonaro says, and do what I am doing to do what I must, that must to be done. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the president is doing. I don't care about Bolsonaro anymore. It's like, brother, excuse me, just move because I need to pass, and that's it. Because if I stay too much aligned about what he's doing wrong, I just enter in a vibration that is not what I'm looking for. Yeah. So this is it. I don't know what I'm talking so much. Sorry. What time is it? I still have time, Somish. What time is it?
Please don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going. I love it. It's great.
Cool. So I want to share 2 more things with you, and then I can open to questions if someone wants to make any question. Because many people ask me, how can we support? What are you doing? So as I say before, I have my Instagram. You also can contact me via Instagram, and I can share with you everything that is being done. And with me and with other people, because I also share projects from my friends that I'm not related to, but I trust in this collective. I'm heading some projects, but my friends are heading another, are the head of production of other projects. And I share all, because the thing is, like, again, alliances. And what I'm doing now, I'm creating an online course with them, because they cannot move from the forest right now, and the government doesn't allow them to come out because of COVID-19. And I don't know, I cannot speak from all of them, but the ones that I work more, they are really like, come on, government never care about us. Funai never care about us, and now they are trying to protect us and deciding what you can or cannot do. They are like furious, like they don't like this, because they are super independent of them in all levels. So now why they are interfering? Because it's this manipulation of what they have is so valuable that they don't want people to know. So we have this idea of making an online course. It's an online course that is about activism, about Amazonia, problems that Amazonia is facing. How can you help Amazonia and the forests in our countries? They will share about their songs, the meanings of their songs, how to invoke the spirits of nature with different songs and with different medicines. They will speak about rapé, for example. It's a medicine that they have. When should you take the rapé? What we should invoke when you take rapé? What song is related with? How is the different people that they have in the village, what they do, the prophecies, the histories of the creation of their people. So it's herbal baths, all these kind of things. So if you are interested, you also can write me down. Somish, it's like my guardian angel. He's like helping me so much on this. I mean, we are starting, but so much is, here really appear in an important moment. He'll going to help me in all this digital platform story that he's very good on it. So I think in the beginning of the year, February, we'll start to advertise. So this is a way of cooperation, because of course they accept donations, but they're like, we have lots of things to share. So we want donations, yes, but we have things to share, to exchange money for these medicines that we have, this wisdom that we have. That's something that I like a lot. Instead of giving the fish, teaching how to fish instead of giving the fish by itself, teaching how to fish and to build everything, the canoe, everything to them to do it by themselves. Yeah. And yeah, this is the online course. It will be with Cacique Nishiwaka, the beer, the one that I was speaking about it. That he was, because of him, they have almost 200,000 hectares of indigenous lands. Because of him, he was the one with arch and arrow and removing everybody from their indigenous lands. So it's a very important leaderance of Yawanawa people, and a big inspiration to many other indigenous and different tribes. They saw his example, they're like, wow, and they were rescuing as well because of him, everything. And also with Putani, that Putani was the first woman to drink medicine and to make all the diets, spiritual diets, to become a pajé, a medicine woman. Because until that day, a few years ago, not so much, the woman just could take, it was a very patriarchal society as well in the indigenous tribes. And they could not drink medicine, they could not do anything, just taking care of the children, take care of the house and the food, and that's it. And she was like, no, why I cannot be medicine woman, you know? So she just make a big revolution inside her own village, and she creates totally different things. So she went to the elders, she's like, I drink medicine, I want to become medicine woman, that we call pajé. So she make a very strong spiritual diet. She was 1 year inside of the forest alone, actually together with her sister that is called Husharo, the two of them, but without other people. And they were not looking to the eyes to anyone. They were not having sex for a year, not eating sweets, not even fruits, eating food without salt, not drinking pure water, just a fermented thing to, you know, to hydration, eating just few, just studying about the plants and about everything. And she was the first woman to dance. She was the first woman to sing, to drink medicine. And because of her, now you go to the Awanawa tribe and you see like 6-7 years old girls playing and singing and dancing and using their cocker hats, you know, and they are super powerful, the women now. So this online course will be with both of them, the leaders of this tribe, and the inspiration to many other tribes. And also this journey that I'm organizing, because I organize these immersions, these journeys to the forest, to Amazonia. We go to their village, to the sacred village that I told before, that is the last village before, you know, the primary forest. We go there and we spend a week with them, drinking their medicines. We have clay bath, we have herbal bath, we have histories, prophecies, everything, walkings on the forest to the centenary biggest trees in the world. We have all these kind of things, and it will gonna be in March from the 20th to the 27th, if everything is possible. We are living in a very delicate moment in the world, so we never know what can happen now more than ever, but this is the intention. And even if you don't go in these dates for some reason that we cannot control, all the time I'm bringing groups, so you can enter in contact if you want to make this really shamanic immersion with the guardians of the forest in the middle of Amazonia, where you go up on the, you know, with the boat. It's like 9 hours on boat on this river like this, and you see the tucanos and the colorful birds. The last time that I was coming down from the forest, I was on the boat and I saw a black jaguar running, you know, on the earth, and I was in the water like, wow, you know. So it's very beautiful experience. So this is the kind of work that I do to help and support them and support humanity and support me, because I learned a lot, and it's like an honor to have such a beautiful and amazing teachers and keepers of nature and earth. So yeah, this is it. I could be talking for weeks and weeks because it's my favorite subject in the world, but I will shut down a little bit. And if someone has any question, would like to share or to say anything, I'm here.
Thanks, Maria. Thank you.
Mm.
If anybody would like to ask a question to Maria about the Huni Queen or the indigenous people of Brazil or Yawanawa or visiting, um, I'll just show you this the poster for this trip in that's going to happen in March. So that's the poster there. It's Yawanawa Indigenous Lands, Amazonian Immersion with Putani Yawanawa and Bira Nishiwaka. 20th to 27th of March in Accra, Brazil. And if all things are good, we're all going to go. So I hope you've got space, Maria.
Yeah, but the forest is big.
Because there's a lot of us.
Oh,
I'm definitely going to do my best. I've been thinking about visiting Brazil for a long time, and I think this is the perfect opportunity. Of course, I hang out with you. Oh my God!
it will be an honor, brother. And you know me a little bit because you are like personal friends. And I was traveling all the world, making all this kind of work everywhere, all the time. You know, Bali, India, Mexico, all this kind of studying, you know, with different indigenous tribes from different parts of the world, and learning with them how to pray, how to you know, connecting with the spirituality, their rituals, their traditions. That's, you know, my favorite thing in the world. So I was doing all over the world, but my favorite place is like Amazonia. Is like, I cry every time, like when I go to the river and I see these animals, like, wow, it's, you are in the heart of the forest. So this is my favorite place in the world. So what can I say?
Well, it must be pretty good. It must be pretty good. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, amor.
Absolutely can't wait to see the Amazon. Can't wait to be on that boat, going for hours and hours with
Yeah,
no Facebook, no internet to distract me.
yeah. And thank you so much for inviting me again to talk here, and from all the work that with your sacred heart you are open to help them, you know, and to, you offer, Somish was like, he was super like, I want to offer myself to make all the digital platforms. Like,
Mm,
really? And he was like, yeah, really, this is, I want to help, I want to support, just count on me. And I was like, really, brother? Because this is,
yeah.
you're my angel, because I don't understand anything about technological. So I was becoming crazy because the indigenous, they asked me, can you do this? I was like, but I don't know. Don't worry, my daughter. You will learn fast. And I was like, it's not like this. So it's very nice to have these co-creations. And the last thing
Mm,
I would like to say is like, as the caciques say, this is the time of alliances.
mm,
So let's just get together. Everybody has a gift and everybody has a way to collaborate. Can be with money, can be with services, can be of sharing the news and spreading the things. So let's reorganize ourselves and get together, because for me this COVID-19 is saying this to me.
mm,
I was like all the time traveling the world, helping everybody, doing this and that. And now with COVID, I'm in my community, I'm with my people, I'm doing the things that I was sharing all over the world with my best friends, you
mm,
know, and I'm
mm,
receiving from them and I'm giving to them. I'm like, wow, if you don't create these alliances in between us, why we are doing the work we are doing, you know?
mm, mm,
So every time is more like, let's be family, let's be together. And I want to hug everybody.
mm. Let's give you a round of applause for that amazing.
um,
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay. And I'm and it's going to be amazing. This course is going to be incredible. And it's going to bring this information and this knowledge and this vibration into a much wider audience. And it's going
Oh,
to make it in an accessible way, because the power of the knowledge and the things that they share is just so beautiful. It's so deep and so rich that it needs to be shared, and we're going to make that happen. So look out, ladies and gents, for
Omar. Thank you.
this course coming up very soon. Would anybody like to ask a question? I'm going to allow you to unmute yourself. You're welcome to ask any